Am I aware of that I am thinking? I must be. I did ask the question after all. There is somebody in here. It's like a voice, a silent voice. It's not like a whisper, it's actually quite loud. It's more like a voice that doesn't reach the ears of anybody because it doesn't create any sound waves through the airs. But he's talking alright, all the time. I am gonna sit here for 11 hours a day for 10 days. I might as well get used to this. Are you just gonna sit here? What is the point of that? There's just gotta be something more important that you can do with your time. The voice inside of me clearly doesn't like my choice of activity right now, or rather the lack of activity. I've only been sitting here for a couple of minutes. This is gonna be a long 10 days for the guy in here and for me. Back to the breath. Am I gonna try to silence the voice, or am I gonna try to listen to the voice? Or both? I need to accept this. I need to accept this. Accept, accept, accept. So the voice often talks about things like a storytelling voice. Like he is telling someone about something that either irritates him or fascinates him in some way. He has a future conversation with someone or some people, and since he is all alone, he takes all sides of the conversation, and then he reacts or responds on the made-up replies he gets from his made-up audience. Man, this voice is driving me crazy. Is there any way I can silence this lunatic? Start with a calm and quiet mind. Well, that ain't gonna happen. 5 days have passed and he just won't stop talking. And now he's talking about himself in a future conversation that doesn't exist, about how he can't shut himself up. Am I stuck here in this tropical paradise with no way of distracting myself from the mind, escaping from the mind? I am gonna go mad in these 10 days. You know, there's an ant path inside the toilet, which the ants follow blindly. There's a dilemma here. Everyone agreed to the rules of Vipassana. You shouldn't hurt or kill any living being. How are we ever supposed to flush the toilet? These ants has probably been walking this path for a long, long time. Over and over again, watching their friends being flushed down the toilet. It's a wonder they so persistently stick to this particular path. Why don't they just change it a tiny, tiny bit and nobody has to be flushed down and drowned? I better hurry up to the breakfast. What if there's not enough fruit for me? Everybody can eat anything, but I want fruit. Hopefully there's fruit for me. Why does he keep saying that? I don't agree with that. I want everybody to eat as much fruit as possible. I would be fine either way. driving me crazy. Is there any way I can silence this lunatic? I might as well ask the voice itself. Is there any way I can shut you up? Do you really want an answer to that question? And first now, you are asking inwards instead of outwards. Okay, here it is. I am like the insects in the jungle. I am like the birds in your garden. Very noisy. And you don't like noise. It is technically possible to silence both the insects and the birds. But it's way easier to just accept them and try to figure out why they bother you so much. Whether you want to try to force them all to be silent, or if you want to accept that there is noise in nature and be fine with that. Either way, your problem would be gone. The choice is up to you. Out in your so-called real world, basically all you're doing is drowning yourself in doings of any kind, stimulations from your perceived outer world, all to distract yourself from what's going on inside of you. You take in so much information, lots of unpleasant things too, but never giving yourself the time to process it. You just store all of it inside of you, and when you have nothing to do, nothing that stimulates you, things you stored inside you but never processed start to come up to the surface. And you just stored so much inside you, especially unpleasant things. So you can't handle the things that comes up to the surface. So immediately you escape in doings again and stimulations from your outside world. So you don't have to handle your inner world that now has gotten even more overwhelming than your outer world. I talk from all kinds of sources. If you are aware, you can get me to say whatever you want me to say. Awareness is your power over me. Whenever your awareness is out of focus, that means you are unaware, I will draw your attention to me and I will talk about whatever you have stored inside of you. And appearances around you in the outer world is a good trigger to bring up things you stored within you to the surface. I have also the power to talk from your source of inspiration, but then you need to really listen inwards to hear me. Once you do, I will start to talk louder, clearer, and more often from the source of inspiration. But to make it all short, resist me and you will have no control over me. Accept me and you can use me to your advantage. And whatever I ramble on about things you have no interest in, just accept the fact that I am talking and know that it will pass. Because it will. And so will the things you want me to talk about. All will just pass by eventually. That's the voice talking again. Man, this is the last day. I am gonna make it. I feel so empowered. Almost fearless. Well, don't get carried away. You will make a video about this when you get out. In fact, you will make many videos. And there will always be some wise ass who claims to have all the spiritual knowledge, or at least more knowledge than you have. And it will be scary to publish these videos. People will disagree with you. People will always disagree with you, no matter what you say. They might say, "This is not how it is. Why would you spread such bullshit?" But remind yourself that you never claimed to be right. And that you never claimed this to come from some higher source of truth. This might just be your wild imagination. you will never know for sure. Nor should you ever care where it all comes from. Remind yourself that the only ones who has a need to be right are the ones who needs somebody to be wrong. So don't get too attached to things being in a certain way, because nothing is permanent, nor happiness nor misery. Everything changes. But just remember, your 10 days might be over, but this is not over just because your 10 days happen to be over. It's actually now the real test starts. Enjoy the silence for now. I will be back, count on that. And if you are not careful, I will be even more annoying than I ever been. Get back to the breath now. I am out, and I am talking again.
I'm the king of the sand, of the ocean.